focuses on your face.
Are the microphones plugged in?
Yes. Good questions.
Thank you.
See, lights, camera, action. It should be lights, camera,
Microphones,
action.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Cooking with Dad. I'm Chef M, and this is Dad. Say hi, Dad.
And a coup façon. Hi. So the premise for today's episode, Creme Brûlée, started a number of years ago. I'm an airline pilot, and so over the years when my daughters were in their teens or late teens, I took each one of them individually on a trip over to Europe. Emma and I ended up going to Paris, right? And so the whole premise of our trip to Paris was to see how much creme brulee we could consume in basically a day and a half period. And I think we did it 6 or 7 times, which was great. It was all about the creme brulee.
So while we were in Paris, we tried probably 6 or 7 different creme brulees in different restaurants as we walked around sightseeing. And I got to start to really develop what I felt was the best creme brulee. It needs to have a really creamy texture, beautiful vanilla seeds all the way through, and the perfect crack of the sugar when you put your spoon through it. Oh man, I can taste it now. We are ready to get started with our creme brulee. So we are going to start by turning on our pan to medium heat, and then we're going to use a quart of heavy cream. This is important. You cannot substitute half and half or whole milk. You need heavy cream. Heavy whipping cream is fine. It's the exact same thing. There we go. That's 1 quart. And then we're going to add our vanilla to it. So this is a Madagascar vanilla bean, and inside is all of the seeds. So we're going to kind of slice it in half right here, all the way down.
Named after my favorite movie.
Madagascar.
Madagascar 2. Best sequel ever.
Best sequel ever. And then
Forced your kids to watch it over and over again.
Take your knife and just kind of scrape it down the center.
Like I see. Okay. And you're getting the guts out of the middle.
Yeah, all the seeds. So they're going to kind of pull here and on the knife, scrape it off, and then stick the whole thing in, as well as this side. You want as many beans as possible.
Got it. All right.
And we are going to let this come up to just below a boil.
Okay. So you have to slice it down the middle and then get the beans. Is that just to get more flavor out of it? Or?
Yeah, that's going to give more flavor, and it's actually going to release the small beans themselves, which are those little dots.
All right.
And that's going to infuse flavor into all of the cream.
Okay. All right.
All right, next we will move on to our eggs. So we are going to separate 6 eggs from their egg yolks, which is your favorite.
Oh, my favorite.
So
okay.
You get one and I get one.
We get our hands dirty. And we're going into this one.
Yes, so we're going to put the whites in here and then the yolks into the big one.
All right.
And these are nice and room temperature, so they separate really easily. 1.
This is actually kind of fun.
Yeah, it's kind of like a science experiment when you were a kid. That goop you used to make. And we're going to use 6 egg yolks and add to that a half a cup of white sugar. Alright, so now we are going to whisk all of the egg yolks together. And you can keep doing that for me, nice and vigorously.
Whisk like a boss.
I'm going to add in half a cup of white sugar. And we're going to whisk these together until they become pale and not quite fluffy, but a little bit thick.
Eventually.
There you go. So you can kind of see it's a little bit granulated. And the goal is to whip these together until the sugar is completely dissolved into the egg yolk, and then it won't, you'll have less chance of curdling when you add your cream.
This is exhausting. Keep going?
Keep going.
1 eternity later.
Pretty good. Okay, great. So next we will add our warm cream in, and then we're almost ready for creme brulee. Okay, so the cream is ready. You can see it's just about to start bubbling.
Okay.
So now, this is important. When you're adding hot cream to cold eggs or even room temperature eggs, you want to do it really slowly and stir vigorously so that your cream doesn't curdle your eggs.
So whisk like a boss?
Whisk like a boss.
All right,
I
here we go.
will do the pouring and you do the stirring. And we're just going to slacken this down a little bit. And what we're doing is we're bringing the eggs up to the temperature of the cream.
How come you always get the easy job and I get the one that's like...
Well, because you're learning.
I don't like learning.
I don't like learning.
Now, I'm thinking you don't want to get that big old vanilla bean in a scoop here, correct?
That's right. We do want the vanilla seeds, but the whole pod we don't need, so we'll leave that out.
It'd be kind of a rude surprise in your creme brulee dessert. The French would never do it.
And you can tell that your eggs are starting to come up to temperature just by feeling the side of the bowl. If it starts to feel warm, then you know you're good. We're pretty close. I tend to err on the side of adding more cream off the heat. There we go. Alright. So now I'm just going to take the rest of this cream and kind of pour it in. You can go a little bit faster now, but still gonna let you stir it vigorously. And once all of your cream is incorporated, this is called a creme anglaise. And it is the base for ice cream. It's the base for creme brulee. It is the base for creme patissier. And you can use it just by itself as a sauce for desserts.
We should make ice cream in another episode.
Turn this off.
Plant that thought in the back of your substantial brain.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
And now we are going to transfer the cream into our ramekins. Now I'm putting the...
Keep stirring?
Yes. I'm putting the ramekins into a pan because we're going to add hot water to this and make something called a water bath.
Okay.
All right, you're good?
Yeah, I know.
And I used this bowl specifically because it has a spout. If you don't have a bowl with a spout at home, you can always use a funnel to do this, or you could use a smaller container. And we're going to pour this right close to the top.
So I got a couple questions. These seem a little deep to me. I've seen most creme brulee you get at the restaurant is about an inch deep and a lot wider. Is talking about that?
It's just a different type of ramekin. Restaurants will use those mainly because they will cook faster because they're thinner.
Ah, okay. And you also get more of the sugar.
You get
topping.
more of the sugar.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, so we're going to pour this in until the water comes up about halfway up the ramekin. And this is just water that's as hot as the sink will get. You don't have to worry about boiling it ahead of time. And that should do it. Perfect. Now I'm going to stick these in the oven at 325. They're going to bake for about 40 to 45 minutes until they're set, but they still jiggle.
Okay.
So this part is really boring. It's probably easier for me to explain it than to show it to you. After it comes out of the oven, you're looking for a jiggle texture. It should be about a quarter size when you pull it out. It goes straight into the refrigerator and you're gonna cool it 2 hours minimum, overnight best.
Day 2.
And we're back. Okay, the creme brulee has cooked, it's cooled, and now it is ready for the best part, the caramelized sugar, the part that actually makes it brulee.
Yes.
So we are going to take, there's several types of sugar you could use. You could use a turbinado sugar, which is a little bit of a bigger grain, or you can use just regular granulated. This is what we have in the pantry, so this is what we're going to use today. We're going to use about a teaspoon per.
So turbinado, is that like little sugars with a little turban on top?
No,
is that
it's
like little sugars that go really fast.
It's just a raw sugar, so it hasn't been processed as much as a granulated has. So take your creme, and you're gonna shake the sugar into an even layer all the way
Spread it out
around.
evenly. Got it.
Yep.
All right, I can do that.
And then you want most of it to end up in the center because that's gonna be the easiest part to brulee. Okay. Beautiful. This is our blowtorch. This one can be set to continuous. It's a butane torch. You can get it at any cooking goods store and it runs about $35.
That's not a torch. Can we use like a hairspray and a lighter on this?
No. Chemicals are
Not
frowned
that I
upon.
ever did any of that sort of stuff when I was a kid. Don't do that. That's not good. It's bad.
So this one you're going to pull the safety and then light it.
Got it.
And then this has a continuous, so you just click that up, and you can take your finger off, and just.
And you got to keep going. Don't just like.
Yeah,
burn
you
one
want
spot.
to make sure that you move it around. The flame can burn the sugar pretty quickly. So we're just gonna go around, and you see it start to caramelize, get that nice brown color. Make sure you get the edges so they get nice and crispy.
So you're melting it.
You're melting it, yep, and then it's gonna form a caramel actually. And the caramel will harden as it cools and make that beautiful crunch that we love.
So it's okay to turn brown.
Yep.
Is that what you want it to do?
It is what you want it to do. You want that nice caramelized color.
Okay.
And now I'm going to hand this over to you, and you get to do it.
Okay.
So, pull your safety. Pull your safety.
Safety.
Click it. Go. Nice and close.
Nice and close. All right. Around the edges like you told me?
Yeah, a little bit slower. There you go. Yeah, you want to give the sugar a chance to melt.
I'm just afraid I'm going to burn it.
The more you move it around in a slow motion, the less chance you have of burning it. But make sure you get all the way up on the edges. And then you can come down in the center a little more to get that nice dark color.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to give you that crack when you put your spoon through it.
Look at that.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm torching like a boss here,
Perfect.
baby.
Pull it off.
Oh.
All right. And now we get to do the best part, and it's too bad for our audience that they aren't here because this is delicious. You're going to take your spoon and just ooh, get that beautiful crack and creamy.
It is. It's just crusted right there.
Okay. As good as Paris?
Better.
Yes.
Better, sweetheart.
I'm coming back for more.
Because it's just got the right consistency.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Smooth, creamy custard, beautiful,
cold.
crispy sugar. All right, well, thanks for tuning in this week to our Paris adventure of creme brulee. Make sure you like and subscribe below and leave a comment with what you'd like to see us make. Until next time, I'm Chef M. This is Dad. Say goodbye, Dad.
Goodbye, Dad.
Well, now let's wait. Meanwhile... we don't get paid enough.
Subscribe now. Hit that like button.
While we're waiting, you should subscribe below.
Now. Yes, you should.